Hi everyone, welcome to EdTech Reviews. Today I'm very happy to be joined by Julie Hunter from the Aureus School in Oxford. Julie's going to be talking to us about the 200-day wellness program, which is currently being trialled in the Aureus School using the .B program. So Julie, can you talk to us a little bit about what it was like launching a brand new school in September last year?
So when we opened in September, it was a brand new building with nothing on the walls. It looked like an office space, and creating a school culture from scratch is quite a challenge.
Yeah.
However, we knew from the beginning that our tagline was nurturing hearts and minds. So we had a clear vision of where we wanted to head, and we knew that we had 12 core values. Our first value was well-being. So actually, we knew that from day one, every single conversation, every single lesson had well-being at the heart of it.
Yeah.
But it was a challenge.
Definitely. And can you tell me a little bit more about the .B program that you spoke about in the seminar?
Okay, so I trained to be a .B teacher in May with the Mindfulness in Schools project, MISP. And I teach all 120 Year 7 students once a week in .B. We use the 10-week programme that .B teachers are provided with, and the students graduated in December with their certificates. They've completed the entire programme. Not only have the students learnt the techniques, but actually members of staff who attend those sessions with their coaching groups, they've learnt the language that students have learnt and all techniques. Every single staff training day starts with a mindfulness session, so from the site manager to the receptionist to teaching staff all know what mindful walking is, what mindful finger breathing is. So if they come across a student who's just in a moment of trauma, they can say to them, do you need to do a .B, do you need a mindful pause, and so on.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about the morning sessions which you have between 8:30 and 9.
Okay, so lots of schools, students arrive at 9 o'clock to lots and lots of message, and it's cognitive overload. We've deliberately flipped our school day so that at 8:30 students have a wellbeing curriculum. So they have 2 hours a week where they just learn mindfulness strategies. So they've done the .B with me, we have mindful movement, mindful art, mindful reading, and our fantastic English colleague, Benny Cara, she writes and authors specific mindful stories to help students work their way through some of those issues they find challenging with carefully crafted characters and settings, which also underpin our school values.
Yeah, that's great. So can you tell me a little bit more about your thoughts on stress, exams, and what's the balance between well-being and academic performance?
Okay, so there are lots of schools where students are measured on their academic outcomes, which is important. However, it can become like an exam factory where students quickly realise they're underperforming, and then they get stressed, and then their results start to decline. So for us, finding that balance of a happy child will be a successful child. So very much giving curriculum time to wellness. So we often look at how many hours does science need to get the curriculum done, but actually, do we balance that with curriculum time for wellbeing? At Aureus, we have specifically set aside 2 hours a week to teach students how to be well.
Yeah, great. And can you tell me a little bit more about sports psychology and how this is used in coaching, and how your model is different from, instead of having a personal tutor, you actually have a personal coach?
Okay, so often people talk about my tutor. At Aureus School we have coaches. So the coaches meet their coaching group at the end of the day, and we have a model where we use positive coaching language. So instead of having a tutor who just delivers messages, which can often be negative messages, we look at being your best. So the conversations are couched around what was the best characteristic that you used today, and we have coaching circles where students maybe have one adult to 12, where they talk through what characteristics they have that are good but could be improved further.
Great. So can you tell me a little bit more about the partner primary schools that you're working with as well?
Okay, so we open our own primary school next year, September 2018, which is just down the road. But we recognise that actually the work that we're doing to be preemptive against stress in year 11 actually starts in year 5, year 6, when students are already worrying about their SATs and worrying about this academic number that is assigned to them. So we're working as part of a bridging project with partner primary schools so that they learn the language of mindfulness, that they learn the positives that yoga can bring to them. So our mindful movement has elements of yoga and Pilates, but actually training those year 6 teachers up so that the students know that when they enter an exam hall, they have this toolkit for life that will transfer from primary school automatically, because often students, they have the stress of year 6 and SATs, but they then have the stress of the worry about coming to year 7, and summer holidays can be really stressful. So teaching them this mindful bridging project means that actually over the summer holidays, when they start to get anxious about coming to year 7, they have some of those techniques which we will then build on when they arrive in year 7.
Yeah, great. And can you tell me about how this has impacted the staff in your school and the setup with the well-being room and the I guess the importance of like connection and just talking and actually just building relationships rather than always being online or doing something that doesn't involve like talking to other team members.
Yeah. Okay, so brand new building, rather than having a staff room, we have a staff wellbeing room, and made some very critical choices that there is no telephone in there, no mobile phones, no technology really is allowed in that room, no pigeonholes with lots of work announcements. It is a room where staff can go and be completely removed from the stress and strains of school life. That goes right down to posters that are put up in the room. It's meant to be a room completely removed where staff can just go and connect. So we're in a massive building, but we only have 11 teachers. Rather than opening all of the offices that are available, we've made sure that we've only opened 2 faculty bases so that they can connect, so that they can notice how other people are feeling by using those elements of connecting and noticing. Then they can decide, do they want to use the wellbeing studio to do some yoga the next morning or some mindful movement?
And have the staff and students themselves, obviously like they've noticed the difference, like what have they said?
Okay, so students actually come up to staff and they use the language that we use in mindfulness. So they know that when we're doing something that we find stressful, and they can see that they notice if staff need to do a .b or have a mindful moment. So they are using the same vocabulary back, but also in coaching time, if their group seem a little bit stressed at the end of the day, they might say to their coach, can we lead a mindful strategy? And they have become almost mini mindfulness ambassadors, which in year 2, we'd like to set up wellbeing ambassadors, that students are the ones going out in the playground, picking up on the students who they just need to be noticed and they need to be helped with some wellbeing strategies.
Yeah, that's great. So this was an interview with Julie Hunter from the Aureus School, talking about the .b programme and the Aureus School 200-day wellness programme. If you'd like to keep up to date with Aureus School wellness programme, please feel free to follow the Aureus School Twitter page and also follow Julie's personal page on Twitter. I'll leave the links below, and thank you so much for watching.